Alright, boys and girls, I have a battle again here against JoeyFontaine, a fellow YouTuber who I battled once before this generation, and he's been itching for a rematch, so we finally got something done, and here we go. As you can see, we both end up bringing Mega Diancie and also Celesteela, so some similarities in our team. Diancie is the Mega that I really enjoyed using in Gen 6, and finally it's out in Gen 7, so I'm going to really enjoy using it. And we'll see if I can actually use it to today's battle. Anyway, so he's going to lead with Nihilego, as I lead with my Greninja. This is a matchup I kind of wanted. My Greninja I brought this time is Protean, Life Orb, I believe, so I'm just going to go for the Hydro Pump. As you can see, I did expect him to be Focus Sash, but I really wanted to hit him down in the Sash, so that's what I do, and I knew that he was probably just going to set up Hazards, which is what lead Nihilego tends to do. And yeah, that's pretty cool, because I know I can outspeed. I just switch it up to the Hidden Power Fired, just, make myself a little unpredictable in case you wanted to switch. So yeah, I just go for that. Also, I didn't want to miss with Hydro Pump, so that was a thing. So I'm just going to be able to kill him, and he's going to go into his Mimikyu now, and I'm like, okay, I don't think he can kill me without powering. I mean, he probably could with Play Rough, but no, he couldn't because I was riding a Fire type. He still might have been able to, I don't know. But either way, I feel like I really want to get rid of the Disguise, so I'm just going to go for another Hidden Power Fire, which once again can't miss, so... and I really don't need to do a whole lot of damage just to break the sub. Now, I am going to switch out. He did go for the Shadow Sneak, so he can actually 2KO me now with that Shadow Sneak. And obviously, I do not want to lose Greninja. I am faster and can revenge kill quite a bit of Pokemon on his team, so I don't really want to lose it. So I'm just going to go out into my Toxapex, who takes the Shadow Sneak pretty nicely. So he's going to go ahead and switch out. He doesn't want to stay in against my Toxapex. He goes into Diancie, which is something I wasn't expecting him to go into here. I mean, it does make some sense because they typically carry Earth Power, but, yeah, I wasn't really expecting him to risk coming into a Scald. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and set up a layer of Toxic Spikes. I mean, mine as well. Nihilego is dead, and his only other poison type is a Flyer, so it can't actually get rid of them on switch-in, and maybe the poison might be able to help. So, I set those up as he just Mega Evolves and goes for an Earth Power. I know, even though I'm physically defensive, I should be able to take one Earth Power because, it's not stabbed on Diancie. And Toxapex obviously has really good defensive stats anyway. And as you can see, I do take it okay. I get that Scald off, and it's going to be able to do about a little over half to Diancie. And while he is able to do quite a bit of damage with Earth Power, it's mitigated by the fact, obviously, I have Regenerator, so I can just switch out and get that HP back, or some of it back. And plus, I have Celesteela I can switch into here, which pretty much hard walls Mega Diancie. I mean, he can hit me with his Stabbed Rock move neutrally, but my Celesteela is actually a physically defensive set, so I'm not really worried about Diancie at all. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Leechy. That's how confident I am that he's going to switch. He doesn't want to stay in and risk taking a Heavy Slam. And yeah, I'm going to be able to get the Leech Seed off on his Celesteela. And yeah, Celesteela and Celesteela is not really something that my Celesteela can really do because I don't carry a Fire move. So I'm just going to go out into Toxapex, predicting that he probably has a Fire move to be switching in here. Plus, I will be able to get another Regenerator upon switch out, and I also get some HP back from my Leech Seeds, making it a pretty safe switch. And yeah, as you can see, he does carry the Fire Blast, which would have hurt my Celesteela quite a bit. And yeah, I'm going to be able to take some, life from him. And he's going to withdraw Celesteela wisely, not liking this matchup. He goes out into his Crobat here, as I believe I set up the second layer of Toxic Spikes, figuring that the Toxic Poison would be nice on Swampert. As well as Mega Diancie would be decent against, I guess. But no, he's just going to go to Crobat, and he ends up defogging, which makes a lot of sense, although it is going to get rid of his Stealth Rocks as well, and he's not going to be able to set them up since his Nihilego is already dead. So I'm actually okay with that. I can always set up more Toxic Spikes again if I really want to. But, yeah. Decide, I believe, just to go for a Scald here. Most Crobats are physical, obviously, so I'm thinking that should be a good move. He ends up switching into Swampert, and I don't get the burn, sadly. It would have been nice against physical Pokemon like Swampert, but whatever. He's going to go into Celesteela, not wanting to hit by an Earthquake, and there it is. Actually, well, I'll mention it later, but yeah, so Earthquake doesn't affect me, so he's going to go into Diancie here, which is a good play because I decided to be greeting over the Leech Seed. I know that this thing did have Magic Bounce, so you can actually go into it and seed me back on a predicted Leech Seed, which is actually a really nice play for him because Mega Diancie lacks ways to recover its health effectively. And, yeah, Leech Seed is actually going to get him above 50% because Mega Diancie's low base HP compared to Celesteela. So, Anyway, he's going to go into Swampert as I go back into Toxapex. Once again, not the matchup I wanted, and yeah, that double switch worked out for him. But I'm just going to go right back into my Celesteela because I feel pretty confident that he can't really hurt me at all. He's going to go off and get off a Curse, which is okay, I guess. Like I said, I'm physically defensive Celesteela, so even after a Curse, I'm pretty confident I can take a Waterfall or whatever pretty well from this thing, and I decided to go for the Toxic. If he does go back into his Diancie to Magic bounce it away, at the very least, I won't Toxic myself because I'm a Steel type. Plus, getting the Toxic off on this Swampert is really, really nice because obviously it's a Curse Swampert, and Curse Swampert needs some setup, and Toxic will prevent it from being able to really set up, so not so bad. Now he's going to go back into Crobat here. Obviously, my Celesteela causing him some major problems for him. I just go for a Leech Seed, expect him actually to stay in. But that's fine. He just goes into Crobat, which is also affected by Leech Seeds, all right. And yeah, I'm going to be able to get some HP back on my Celesteela, which is kind of hard walling his team right now. He has very few outs looking at his remaining Pokemon. I decided to go for the Protect to see what the Crobat's going to do, and he has Heat Wave, which means this is either a, excuse me, a mixed or a special Crobat, which actually does stand a better chance against my Celesteela. Although with him Leech Seeded, I'm not really sure how much damage he can actually do to me with a Heat Wave. So I decided to stay in, and he ends up predicting the switch and Sludge Bombing, which is basically free damage for me with my Heavy Slam, which does about half to that Crobat. Obviously, Celesteela, I believe the heaviest Pokemon in the game, at least in the OU tier, and Crobat not very heavy, so yeah, he's down to below half. I decide to, what do? I think I predict a switch here, not thinking he would want to stay in. Instead, he's going to, I believe I go for the Toxic, yeah. Instead, he's just going to go for the Roost, which is a good play for him, and it pretty much gets his Crobat back to full HP, so kind of a pointless turn there, or a couple turns. We're back to where we started. And here comes the Heat Wave. He's also going to connect with it this time. And as you can see, I take less than half from it. So, even with being physically defensive, Celesteela, obviously, its defensive stats, just like Toxapex, more than enough to cover some weak, unstabbed special moves, even though it's not EV'd that way. So, I feel pretty confident about this matchup against Crobat now that I saw that damage. And as you can see, after the Leech Seed especially, I'm back to 75%. There's not really much you can do. So yeah, in comes his Brawly again, his Celesteela, which will kind of hard wall me. I just go for another Heavy Slam. I didn't want to give him another free Roost if it came to that. And he just wisely goes back into his own Celesteela, which will do absolutely nothing to that. Any switch, I'm gonna switch, because I don't want to take a Fire Blast. I decided to go into Zapdos here, going into for the first time. I know that Fire Blast will do decent damage to me, but instead he goes for an Earthquake, predicting probably my Toxapex. So there you go, another Earthquake miss, and he's just going to go into his Swampert, which is a wise play as I just go for a Thunderbolt. So another move that doesn't affect the opponent. And yeah, I end up U-turning here back into my Celesteela. Once again, Celesteela should hard wall this Swampert. And he goes for the Earthquake, I guess predicting Toxapex? I don't know why you'd predict Toxapex here, but he goes for an Earthquake, and that doesn't affect me. I've never seen in a battle so many no effect moves here as I have in this battle. I don't know how many times he went for a ground move into a Pokemon or against one of my Pokemon with, flying type. So that's actually kind of funny. In comes his Brawly, his Celesteela again, as I just go for a Heavy Slam. I'm kind of trying to predict Diancie, maybe? I don't know. There's no reason for him to really switch into Diancie, though. Although that would also do damage to Crobat. But he wisely goes into his own Celesteela, and I'm like, yeah, let's just go for the Leech Seed. He's probably not going to double switch. So let's just go for it. And here's a Grass Knot. So once again, trying to predict, I'm guessing Toxapex. So yeah, I'm going to be able to get that free Leech Seed off on his Celesteela, which makes everything so much better. I'm not really sure how much Grass Knot would have done to me anyway. Now, obviously, his Celesteela is offensive, but I already saw that he had an Earthquake. That would have been better against me. I'm not really sure what Grass Knot... I guess it would hit Greninja harder. Though Greninja probably dies to an Earthquake at this point anyway, because my Greninja's pretty low on health. Whatever. He does go for the Fire Blast again, and I actually go for a Toxic once again, predicting a switch, so not obviously a good play that turn for me. And yeah, I believe I just try to go for the Protect here, which will give me, obviously, recovery back with my leftovers and Leech Seeds. But he's going to withdraw, which is another dead turn for me. He goes back in a Crobat. So no Leech Seeds for me this turn. I just get some normal leftovers recovery. Although this Crobat is nearly dead, and I'm like, well, I could stay in and Heavy Slam it. He probably might Roost. I don't know. Instead, he just goes right for the Heat Wave. He wants to get that damage on Celesteela so he can Revenge Kill it. Unfortunately for him, it really, like I said, doesn't do much, and I'm going to get some nice recovery back with those Leech Seeds and my leftovers. So I'm actually going to be, I believe, above half after this turn. So that Heat Wave I took pretty well. And I could always Protect again if I wanted to, and he knows that I could Protect. And I'm just going to do it anyway. Like, worst case scenario, he Roosts. And he does, but yeah, Celesteela is now literally back to ground 75%, so it's really... I'm fine with it. I actually feel like I can actually win this matchup, especially with that Crobat seeded. He's going to die to 2 Heavy Slams, and I can take Heat Waves, or as long as he's seeded, you know, as long as I get that recovery, so... Yeah, I decide to switch out, though. I go into my Zygarde because I figure, you know what, it's a good opportunity to get into my Choice Band Zygarde because he is going to pretty much go for the Heat Wave, which I resist. Unfortunately, he gets the burn, so that must be nice. It's going to really cripple my Choice Band Zygarde, which I was just hoping to go for the 1,000 Arrows, which is a move that obviously can hit, despite being Ground-type, it can hit flying Pokemon like Crobat. So, yeah, I'm just going to go for it anyway. He's going to go into Swampert, which is actually okay. Even though Swampert's kind of bulky and I'm burned, it's still going to be a 2-hit KO at this point because Swampert is low on health. And he's pretty much just death foddering it because, yeah, a poison Swampert at like 25, what is it, 30%? Not extremely useful. So, yeah, I'm just going to let him fodder it and just go for the 1,000 Arrows. And that will be able to take out Swampert. Now, Zygarde can become fodder for me as well because, let's face it, a burn Zygarde is not extremely useful. It's going to go into Diancie. Mega Diancie does have quite a varied move pool. I don't want to really risk switching into anything. I could have switched into Celesteela, but if he has a hidden power or, you know, just goes for a rock move, he might be able to 2-KO me. I don't know. What is his special rock move? Diamond Storm, is it? So, yeah. Just going to go into Greninja, and this is pretty much free for me. No matter what he goes into, I know that Ice Beam, Hydro Pump should absolutely murder it, so just going to go for that. He's going to go into his own Celesteela, which we already established was, you know, offensive in nature, so not highest defenses, and as you can see, just the overwhelming power of Greninja there with a Life Orb using Hydro Pump, and I'm just not going to risk... I'm just going to go for an Ice Beam, knowing that Ice Beam is going to finish this guy off, and... Anyway, so, yeah, I'm just going to be able to get rid of that guy, and Greninja, I believe, has one more attack left in it. That's 15 HP. I decided to save it, knowing that I'm still outspeeding, like, most of its stuff, and Mimikyu, obviously, can just kill me with priority, so why not? I know I can just go into Celesteela, basically, and pretty much wall this thing. I mean, his ghost moves will be neutral against me, but I resist Fairy, and, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and Heavy Slam this thing, because it's weak to it, and Mimikyu doesn't weigh very much. He's going to go for the Shadow Sneak. I guess that might be his only ghost move. He might not carry Shadow Claw and opt for extra coverage. Not sure. But either way, it's not quite enough. And, yeah, I'm going to be able to just murder Mimikyu, which will, of course, give me a Beast Boost that boosts my defense, which makes me even more tanky defensively. Although I think his remaining Pokemon are both special, so it doesn't really help me that much. Anyway, in comes Diancie again. And we're going to see, I guess, if he has a way to hurt me other than Diamond Storm. Diamond Storm actually is physical, so that wouldn't really work. He ends up carrying the Hidden Power Fire, so he was probably trying to wait until he could get me low enough to pop it. Unfortunately for him, I was played very well with my Celesteela this match. It didn't really give him the opportunity, and that Hidden Power Fire is not quite able to KO me. And, yeah, his last Pokemon, I believe, is his Crobat, and, yeah, he will be able to take it down by Celesteela here with a Heat Wave. But at this point, I have more than enough to win. I just go for a Protect for some reason. It's kind of a dick move on my part. I think I was thinking maybe I'd be able to live it after... No, I don't know what I was thinking. I might have just hit Protect out of instinct. But now he is going to kill me with Heat Wave, and I can pretty much finish him off with whatever. I decided to go into my Zapdos to end the game, since obviously he's not going to be able to kill me. Even with a Sludge Bomb, and yeah, I'm going to be able to murder him with a Stabbed Thunderbolt. So, Good game there, JoeyFontaine. It was a very long one. Hope to have another one with you soon now that you're in Discord. And, yeah, was a fun match. So today's question of the day is, what is your favorite card game? It can be either, playing card game, like poker or whatever, or it can be a trading card game. As for me, I probably have to go with Magic the Gathering. It's a game that I've been playing. I actually learned it after I learned Yu-Gi-Oh! But Yu-Gi-Oh kind of sucked. Well, I mean, it was kind of fun early on, but then it got really sucky. Sorry if you like Yu-Gi-Oh still, but that's my opinion. No, but Magic the Gathering, I'm pretty casual when it comes to that. I mean, it's not like I go to tournaments anymore. I have way too much stuff to do, but I always like getting friends together, and we sometimes do a cube draft. It's really kind of fun. As for other card games, I do like playing Texas Hold'em on my phone a lot, so I guess that would be an honorable mention. So leave a comment about that, about your favorite card game, and see you guys again next time. Later.